Welcome back to Cupcakes. This is part 3. Yeah! Sorry about that. Let me begin. Poof. Swallowing, Pinky turned her attention to a small can on the Swallowing, Pinky turned her attention to a small can on the tray. She removed the lid, revealing that it was filled with red-hot coals. Lying on top of the coals were several large nails. As the adrenaline filled her veins, Dash began to panic again. Picking up the can, Pinky walked over to Dash's left flank. No, Dash's left, holding small tongs with her mouth. Pinky carefully picked up a nail and positioned it at the seam between her victim's front left leg and hoof. She then grabbed the hammer and took careful aim. "No! Pinky!" Dash screamed. "No, no!" The hammer came down and the nail punctured Dash's skin. The white, hot burning was too much. Dash screamed as she pulled and thrashed at the braces, causing her raw skin to rub and tear. Ugh, I hate that. Pinky tried to line up another nail, but she couldn't find her name, and let out a frustrated grunt. When Pinky brought the hammer back to take a wild swing, Dash began begging and crying. "Please, stop! Please! Please stop!" Pinky rolled her eyes. Putting down the hammer and tongs, she walked back in front of her friend and stared pensively at the broken Pegasus. Gilda didn't even cry this much when she had a live parasite stuffed down her throat. Pinky thought for a minute about what to do next. She had a sudden spark of inspiration. Rotating a wheel on a rack, Pinky laid Dash on her back, then moved to Dash's hind legs. Bringing the can with her, picking up her tools, Pinky drove a searing hot spike of metal directly into the bottom of Dash's hooves. Oh God, so hard to read. As Dash yelled in pain, Pinky moved around and drove a second nail into the other hoof. Next, Pinky went back to her cart and located an enormous battery and controller, which she dragged over to where she was working. She tied copper wires between the terminals and the nails into Dash's hooves, then gave Dash a wink and flipped the switch. Okay, that's interesting. Why would you wink then flip a switch? Electricity rocketed through Dash's body. The blue Pegasus reacted immediately. Her body seized and her muscles snapped. Her hips thrusted skyward. Her eyes rolled back, and she let out a deep, throat-shedding cry. Pinky giggled and danced in place, then reached down and turned up the juice. Dash convulsed uncontrollably as her bladder emptied once more, so she pissed herself, basically. After about 5 minutes, Pinky shut off the power. Whiffs of steam rose in the air from the singed fur around Dash's hooves. The area reeked of cooked flesh and burnt enamel. Yeah. Pinky rotated Dash upright again, and tried snap the drooling, delirious Pegasus back to attention. "Dash! Dash! Rainbow Dash! Wake up!" Dash moaned and managed to give a modicum modicum of weak acknowledgement. Pinky stuttered her handiwork, then reached into her medical bag, into the medicine bag, and pulled out a large syringe. Alright. Oh. Alright. Time for the last round. Dash focused bleary on the needle, which Pinky took as a question to what it was. This is a little something to take the pain away, Pinky informed Dash, as she walked around to her victim's ruined back. Dash flinched as Pinky jabbed the needle into the lower part of the blue pony's spine. Moving in front of her friend again, she leaned down and elaborated. In a few minutes, you won't be able to feel a thing below your ribcage. Then you'll be able to stay awake and watch the harvest. Dash started to cry again. Pinky, she choked out. Yeah, I want to go home. Dash sighed. Yeah, I can see wanting to do that, replied the party pony. Sometimes I just want to give up. Just say, I'm done with this mess and go to bed. But you know what? You can't just shrug off your responsibilities. You gotta pull yourself together and meet challenges head on. That's the only way you're gonna get through life. Dash hung her head and cried. Minutes passed. As the drug took effect, eventually Dash was completely numb from her chest to her flanks. At this point, Pinky approached with a scalpel, glancing at Dash and smiling. Oh my god, I love this part that's coming up. Pinky made a long horizontal cut across the Pegasus pony's pelvis, just above her crotch, moving up Dash's body. Pinky made a similar incision under her ribs. Finally, Pinky made a long vertical cut down Dash's stomach, connecting the first two. Oh my god, here we are. Looks like I got my eye on you, Dash, Pinky giggled. With a wet, moist, gooey sound, the flaps of skin opened. The sight of her own organs and the lack of feeling caused Dash to breathing to intensify. Pinky carefully sliced open Dash's abdominal sac and grabbed her large intestines as she separated the organs from the rest of the digestive tract and pulled it out of the new cavity. Pinky grew joyful, laughing as she gutted her friend. Pinky began to make jokes. Dash grew weaker from this new source of blood loss. She tried desperately to shout out whatever. Look at me, I'm Rarity. Hold on. Look at me, I'm Rarity. Pinky laughed, slinging the intestinal tube around her neck, spraying blood all over the place. Isn't my new scarf so pretty? Reaching back inside, she sliced the smaller intestines off from the bowels, squeezing out the new exclusive. Pinky filed the slimy organ through her teeth and dragged it back and forth. That just say you got floss every day, Dash. Dash was barely aware of what was going on anymore. The shock was causing her to fade. Disappointed, Pinky dived back into the blue pony's guts, ramping up her routine. Aw, don't go yet, Dash. Pinky started pulling out the rest of Dash's organs, pausing with each removal. I know I can be a real pancreas, but you know, I'm just kidding with you. You really gotta learn to liver it up. Boy, these jokes are getting bladder. Guess you gotta develop a stomach for 'em. Pinky placed the discarded body parts into the bucket, keeping the last one for a bit longer. Ooh, bagpipe, she said, placing the end of of Dash's esophagus into her mouth, and the stomach into her armpit. She squeezed, and a spurt of acid hit her tongue. Ew! Oh, hey, look! There's your cupcake, Dash! Oh my god. Dash didn't hear her tormentor. She slipped from consciousness minutes ago. Pinky not yet satisfied, hit Dash with yet another adrenaline shot. Dash woke up for the last time, her heart pounding. Warm blood flowed out of her womb in her chest in great spurts. It wouldn't be long now. Pinky brought Dash around onto her back again, and straddled the blue pony's chest, scalpel at the ready. You know, Dash, I'm disappointed. I thought you would last longer. I really want to spend more time with you. But I guess it's my fault. I guess I should have taken it a little slower. Well, oh well. I guess it was nice knowing you, Dash. The blade sunk into the blue pony's throat and worked its way up Dash's chin, coming back down again. Pinky scalpel then circled Dash's neck, and the last thing Dash felt was her skin being cut away from her skull, and the metal of the blade scraping her teeth. Then she was gone. Pinky stared into the mirror. She had done a really good job, even keeping the eyelids. She winked, and Dash winked back. Oh my god, that took me a while to figure out. Pinky smiled, but still, she was sad that her friend was gone. Dash only lasted 50 minutes. That's so funny. I think I've been doing this for about 41 minutes. Or maybe even longer. Not nearly as long as Pinky had wanted. She looked back at the Cardivier hanging in the center of the room. The last of her friend's fluid draining into the pan. Yup, no more Rainbow Dash. As she looked, Pinky cocked her head. She began to take notice of the fact there really wasn't much damage to the corpse. In fact, the pink pony removed. I think an idea exploded into her head. She was good at sewing, and she had all the pieces. All she had to do was put them back together. Yeah. She just had to get some stuffing, and bingo, she had Rainbow Dash Forever. In fact, that's what she was going to do for all her best friends when their numbers came up. She was so excited, she skipped right over to the body with her Skinner to get started. The cupcakes could wait. Pinkie Pie had a friend to make, and that was Cupcakes. Now, like, I believe this was made before Party of One, and when I saw Party of One, I'm like, hey, wasn't there a fanfic with something like this? Anyway, sorry about all the mess-ups. I kind of started rushing when I saw I was running out of my time limit of like 14 minutes and something seconds. Anyway, I'm glad you watched this. I'm just going to talk for a minute. Now, again, Equestria Girls is coming to a theater near me in 3 days. I'm hoping to go see it. And if you do see me there and you watch my videos, please say hi. I want to be loved. I just want to be loved. Anyway, Pinkie Pie's a very awesome pony, by the way. She's the best out of the main six. She's the funniest. Twilight's my favorite, though. I will always be a Twilight fanboy. Thank you for watching me do Cupcakes. Bye.